What's up, y'all? It's your girl Nerdy Curls, and today I'm actually sitting and filming a video. This is in my new house that my husband and I bought a couple of months ago. But today's video is going to be a little bit different. I know my channel is kind of going in a little bit different direction where I'm kind of focusing a little bit more on keto. I'm not going to not do hair videos ever again. I just right now keto, for whatever reason, I'm feeling a strong not obligation, what is it, I'm feeling a very strong pull toward doing keto, and it's probably because I'm currently on the keto diet. I've kind of done it off and on for years. I did keto way a long time ago when it was still the induction phase of Atkins, and had a lot of success with it. But today my video is actually not even going to be about keto or hair. It's actually something that I've had 3 people ask me about. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and be like, everybody asked me to do this. But I had a few people who asked me about bullying, because I was bullied horrendously growing up. And one person, or a couple specifically, they have an adopted child as well, and she is getting bullied for her hair. And they had they're friends of the family, and they asked my mom, hey, how did your daughter deal with being bullied? And so rather than typing out this big old long thing and sending it, I would just rather just make a video. Maybe it can help somebody. I don't know. And the long and short of it, of how did I handle being bullied? I didn't at all. I just kind of let it happen. And my parents would tell me, okay, well, if you hit him back, I promise you won't get in trouble. But I was always afraid of getting in trouble at school and getting suspended, because I actually was a weird child who liked school. I still, to this day, love learning. And so I really enjoyed school, and I didn't want to get in trouble for fighting, and then I was afraid that I would get kicked out of school, and that I would be expelled and never come back again, the things that go through a 10-year-old's mind, right? But I was bullied from kindergarten all the way through my freshman year of high school. And when I was a kid, my mom would tell me, it's not you. Her phrase to this day is, God don't make junk. Okay, mom. Okay. And I agree, God doesn't, well, I don't know, because there's some really junky people, and I don't think they were made in test tubes. So I'm pretty sure God made them too. But anyway, there was a lot of people who bullied me for a lot of different reasons. I have been bullied because I'm adopted. I literally had a little girl who, if I were to see her to this day, all my other bullies, I'd just be water under the bridge. But her, she struck a nerve when she said this. She literally told me, the reason why you're with this mommy and daddy is because your real mommy and daddy didn't want you. I would have kids tell me that my parents weren't my parents. They were my step parents because they didn't give birth to me. And I would literally, in first grade, I remember explaining multiple times, no, I was adopted. My mom was sick, and my parents adopted me because they couldn't, they tried, but they couldn't have kids. And kids just, it couldn't click in their brain. And I was bullied for that. I was bullied for my hair, because I was in elementary school, at least one of, I think, 3 kids in the entire school who had curly hair. And I remember one little boy in 3rd grade, he got bullied a lot too. He was from the South, and ironically, he was a Jehovah's Witness, and he was he's black. I don't know. I'm assuming he's still alive, but he was black. So he got bullied for everything. Even like the teacher would bully him because he couldn't say birthday the same way that we do. And it was his accent, he would say birthday, and she would literally sit there and she would like make fun of him because the way that he said birthday. But he, myself, and then my friend who I'm friends with to this day, Katie, were pretty much the only kids in school that I remember that had curly hair. And so we all got picked on a lot for it. I remember myself and Katie, like people would make spit wads, like where they take pieces of paper and they put it in their mouth and make it wet and they would throw it in our hair. People would pull our hair and like just make fun of us. Like I got called Brillo pad because my hair in Colorado, which is where I live, it's really dry. It's a really dry climate, and I'm Hawaiian. I'm a mixture of Hawaii, Caucasian, and African American, and my hair dries out in this climate. Even now that I know what to do with my hair, it still dries out in this climate. So it was just really dry, and kids would call me Brillo pad. They would throw stuff in my hair, pull my hair. I would get beat up because of my hair. And then I also got bullied for my weight. So me being on keto, like I've struggled with my weight my entire life. I was always heavy, and it just was always a thing. And so kids would make fun of me because I ran slower than all the other kids because I was heavy. I could never, and still to this day, can't do a pull-up, although that's gonna change. But yeah, I got bullied for that. I also got bullied for my skin. So I would get bullied for having dark skin by other people of color, and I still to this day do not understand it. I would get bullied by like Hispanic children for being Black. I was told in 3rd grade-ish, somewhere around in there, to go back to Nigeria, and was called the N-word by other kids. And it was just really bizarre, and it was a lot. It was a lot as a kid to deal with, and I never really dealt with it as a kid. I dealt with it more as an adult now. And I was asked, when I was asked, for suggestions, I was asked specifically, what can we do to help her, this family friend's daughter, so she doesn't get bullied. And the truth is, kids are gonna bully people because it's part of, like in the animal kingdom, there's always going to be jockeying for the hierarchy and who's going to be the king of the mountain, or like, the queen of the castle or whatever. Kids are always going to do that. And looking back, I feel like I was bullied, not necessarily because I had curly hair or because I was chubby, because I was brown, but because I didn't really have a lot of confidence in myself. Self-esteem was a huge issue, and being bullied just made it worse. But there was never a point in time where I accepted myself for who I am. That didn't happen until I was an adult. And honestly, it didn't happen until my late 20s for me to accept really who I was. So as a kid with little to no self-esteem, absolutely no confidence in myself whatsoever in anything other than academics, because I knew I was smarter than all the other kids, which, yep, they bullied me for that too, believe it or not. And if I could really advise anything, it would be, teach your child, or learn how to do your hair to where you like it, but also do something that helps encourage confidence. I forever and a day will always encourage martial arts, not because I think that violence is the answer, but there is certain instances where your back is up against the wall and you have to defend yourself. Martial arts are going to help with that. They're also going to help you not only to defend yourself, but they're also going to help with giving you self-confidence. Because when you first go in and you are training in a martial art, you're probably going to get hit in the face a couple of times and it's going to suck. It is. But when you instinctually block and you don't even realize that that's what you're doing, that it's your instinct, you literally block and then you, out of instinct, answer back with, you know, a jab or a hook or, you know, an uppercut or whatever. When you instinctually do that, you are going to be like, what? I did that? And it's going to help you to become more confident in who you are. And in addition to being able to defend yourself, in addition to having that self-confidence, it's also going to teach you discipline. Because yeah, is it going to be easy to go and like beat up those kids who are mean to you? Absolutely. But it's not really going to solve anything. I mean, it's going to make them less likely to pick on you, but they're still going to pick on somebody. And so that leads me into like the next thing that I would suggest is have self-confidence in yourself, absolutely, but also understand that them bullying you, no matter what it feels like. I always felt like I wasn't enough, and it wasn't until I became an adult and really until I talked to a couple of bullies of mine, because I'd run into them or whatever, or they find me on Facebook, because that's, I mean, we live in a very digital society. It wasn't until I talked to them and they really kind of explained, like, it wasn't anything to do with you. You're actually beautiful. It was everything to do with my childhood and what I was around. Some of them were literally bullied by their family, so they learned this behavior from their family, like their parents sometimes, or their siblings, or other kids bullied them. So they learned that that behavior kind of helped, or they were bullied by somebody else. And being bullied by somebody else, they learned that if I act in a certain way, this other person is now the weaker party, so I can establish dominance with them. So they learned that, and rather than just sitting down and saying like, look, like my mom and dad are really mean to me, do you want to be friends? Kids don't understand that. Like, and understanding feelings and understanding what's happening, that's a really complex topic that most adults don't even understand, let alone other kids. So understanding that it's not you and it doesn't have anything to do with you, you just are the person that they're taking it out on. Looking back as an adult kind of gave me some comfort, but with the kid who's going through it right now, it doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't. I wish I could lie to you and say that, oh yeah, once I understood at 10 years old that it has nothing to do with me, everything was great. No, it's not gonna change anything. What it might change is your paradigm, but it's not gonna change theirs. And really, what I would suggest is being confident in who you are. And if there's something you don't like, then change it because you don't like it, not because somebody else is picking on you. I relaxed my hair for 20 years. My mom, and she had the best intentions, she put a relaxer in my hair because she was trying to help and didn't understand a lot of the stuff that goes into it. Like, you really probably shouldn't have any metal in your hair because it's gonna react and all of that. And I had a bald spot in the back of my head because my mom, was trying to help and ended up burning my scalp. She absolutely did not mean to. And finally, after 6th grade, she took me on base. We live in Colorado. She took me to Fort Carson, and I had a relaxer put in my hair. And that was the summer between 6th and 7th grade. And I did that for the next 20 years of my life until I finally was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to put relaxers in my hair anymore. Like, I want to see what my hair looks like. Once I actually accepted myself and my texture, every part of me, good, bad, and indifferent, it made it a lot easier to be confident, and it made it a lot easier to stand up for myself when people would say something about, oh, well, your hair looks like a Brillo pad. Yeah, but I like it, so, get over it. So, I mean, I just really hope that this video helps somebody, that like somebody who's picking on you, as much as it sucks, you are absolutely enough, like 1000% enough. And this is your life and this is your experience, and you are the one who needs to shape it. Yes, there's going to be people who are going to come in and be assholes, but you don't have any control over them. You have no control over the fact that maybe their dad isn't there, or their mom isn't there, or their brother picks on them, or whatever is going on in their life. But you have 100% control of yourself, and walk tall. I don't know if any of my viewers or anyone who watches this video is familiar with Jordan Peterson, but he has a book called 12 Rules for Life. And a 10-year-old, I don't expect a 10-year-old to read that or even listen to it as an audiobook. But the first rule is to walk upright with your shoulders back. And that stems from studies with lobsters, where they will literally jockey for who can have whatever home on the bottom of the sea. And they noticed that lobsters that were upright and they had the pinchers and were like attacking the other lobsters, they actually secreted more serotonin, I believe, that made them like not more powerful, but it definitely, they established dominance in that hierarchy, whereas the other lobsters that were maybe hiding or what have you, not so much at all. So I would absolutely suggest be confident in who you are. And if you don't have confidence in who you are, that's okay. We all go through it. Get into something. I don't care if it's boxing. I don't care if it's martial arts. Even if you maybe aren't a physical person, but you want to take a class. You want to take a class on how to paint or cooking or whatever. Whatever it takes for you to like obtain that confidence and to sit there and say, yeah, I've got this. Yeah. Oh, who's that in the mirror? It's me. I'm beautiful, or whatever. So that way you can have that confidence. I will always advocate for martial arts, but if that's just not something that you can do, I suggest taking a different class where you can gain that knowledge and that confidence. And also understand that it has nothing to do with you. And while we all have flaws, just love those flaws that you have. Like, you may not like them now. I hated being smarter than everybody else, but I loved school. And now, as a fully grown adult and understanding that, oh, okay, well, my intelligence has helped me a lot. Has it helped me out of everything? No, but it's helped me a lot. You'll come to realize that, hey, like me having curly hair and running my swamp cooler where it's humid in my house during the summer, that helps my curls pop. Or, me having like brown skin, like I look great in these different outfits where maybe somebody who doesn't may not. And it's okay to be different. It's okay to be the white kid amongst a bunch of minority kids. It's okay to be the person who has curly hair with everyone else who has straight hair. It's okay to be smart. It's okay to be you. You are the only person who is you. Even if you have a twin, you're still the only person who's you, and that's your superpower. Like, nobody else can be you, ever, 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 no matter how much they try. Even people who act, they're actors, and their job is to be this other person in a movie or a film. They're acting, and they might embody that, especially if it's a historical figure, but they won't ever 100% be that person. Nobody can. Like, even if you were to try to cut their face off and wear it, like, one, that would be really weird. Two, you're still not going to achieve being that person. So I really hope this video, I know it's kind of long-winded, but I really hope that it helps somebody. I really hope that it helps you if you're being bullied. I hope it helps you to, move forward and fight back if you have to. And if not, at least accept who you are and be 100% confident that you're absolutely beautiful. I promise. You're beautiful, you're handsome, you are striking, you are the best person to be you. Nobody else can do that. Don't pretend to be somebody else. Be you, because you're the best person to be. All right, so I know I ended my video already, but I'm gonna insert this, but there was something I forgot to add into this, and it's if you see someone being bullied, whether you stand up to that person like right in front of like the person that they're bullying, which is probably ideal, or you take them off to the side and you accost them, like stand up for somebody who can't stand up for themselves. I remember one of my friends that he and I went to school together since like 4th grade, and he was bigger. He played football in high school. My freshman year, I got bullied every day of my freshman year by the same person who I later dated, but that's a completely separate video. But he would bully me. And this guy that I went to school with since 4th grade, he would go to football practice because he was on the football team, and every single day, he was a freshman, this guy was a senior, every single day would light that dude up at football practice. I didn't find this out until like maybe 5 or 10 years ago is when I found that out. And like, he would whoop the dog shit out of him, and he never did it in front of me. He always did it at practice, and he would tell him, leave her alone. Every time you don't leave her alone, I'm gonna do this to you again every single day. And one day, like, finally he stopped bullying me, but like, I didn't know that. And this friend of mine was literally sticking up for me because I couldn't stand up for myself, and doing that to try to make this guy leave me alone. Did it work? No, I don't think it did. I mean, there was a lot of other reasons as to why he finally left me alone, but like, now looking back, when I found that out, I was so grateful that like somebody had my back, because I felt like I was so alone. So even if you're not being bullied, if you see somebody else being bullied, stand up for them. Like, everybody needs a hero every once in a while, so please. I hope that helps, and